Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Masciantonio, and I'm the Chief Workforce Officer for the Advanced Robotics for Manufacturing Institute. I'm here with my coworker, John Zappa, the Director of Product Management. The ARM Institute is part of a national program called Manufacturing USA. We're one of 17 institutes focused on securing U.S. global leadership and advanced manufacturing by connecting people, ideas, and technology. The ARM Institute is focused on robotics, automation, and artificial intelligence related to the in-demand careers in manufacturing. We are delighted to welcome Michel Conklin, the Executive Director of BotsIQ. BotsIQ is a workforce development program and the Pittsburgh chapter of the National Tooling and Machining Foundation. It was created to provide a pathway for youth and explore rewarding careers in manufacturing. We've had the great pleasure of working with Michelle and her team over the years, and the work that they're doing is incredible and a huge value to our next generation of workers. So today we're going to be discussing how students discover the importance of robotics in manufacturing, education for STEM careers, and how we can all embrace the future of technology with robotics and education. We want to show you a video to provide an upfront overview.
Today's manufacturing workers need skills like robotics programming, mechanical systems, and teamwork. Roboticscareer.org is here to match workers with careers that fit their skills. This is Rosa. She's not particularly satisfied with her current job, but isn't quite sure how to move forward. This is Darius. He has a problem. One of his best employees, Sam, just got promoted. He needs a qualified replacement with the same skills. Rosa is frustrated with traditional job search websites that constantly funnel her leads that don't match her ambitions. Darius isn't faring so well either. His current employees are struggling to fill Sam's shoes. But then a friend tells Rosa about a new opportunity he found using Roboticscareer.org. They loved participating in robotics competitions together in high school. But is that really something she could make into a career? She quickly finds Roboticscareer.org and clicks on Find Your Match. Find Your Match helps Rosa spotlight skills like teamwork and work ethic, as well as competencies like robot programming that make her suited for a career in advanced manufacturing, and matches her with curated job openings that fit her unique abilities. Which means Rosa aces her interview. By connecting job seekers with employers in advanced manufacturing, the ARM Institute is building the workforce of the future. For Darius's team, it means they can all get back to doing what they do best. And for Rosa, it means she's finally found the place she belongs. Find your match at Roboticscareer.org.
So employment for STEM careers is expected to grow by 8.8% between now and 2028. If we want our students to be ready to take advantage of those opportunities, it's imperative to instill an early interest in STEM education. And STEM education can lead to careers in robotics and manufacturing. The need for students interested in manufacturing careers has never been greater. A report from the Manufacturing Institute and Deloitte found that 4.6 million jobs need to be filled in U.S. manufacturing by 2030. The increased U.S. focus on building critical industries such as semiconductors, the energy sector, battery sources, these careers are all going to involve robotics. Robotics education fuels curiosity and fosters experiential learning. It enables students to interact directly with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Through the design, construction, and programming of robots, students acquire a practical comprehension of these subjects. So let's further explore the skills and competencies needed for a career in manufacturing using robotics and what that career might look like. So John, I'm going to start with a question for you. Can you show us the robotics career pathways in manufacturing and explain how the RM Institute has identified them?
Certainly, Lisa. When you say certified public accountant, for instance, CPA, you know what to picture and what skills are needed. Um, until our recent work, however, this did not exist for robotic skills needed in manufacturing. And at the RM Institute, we asked our members what competencies and skills they needed since they're the organizations that are hiring. And this industry-led approach has brought us to three clear pathways that I'd like to show you now. If you see on this screen here, they are indeed robotics technician, a robotics specialist, sometimes known as a robotics engineer, and robotics integrator. The technician is an individual that works in an individual work cell, looking at the care and feeding of the equipment, if you will, all the electromechanical components. The engineer or specialist may be looking more at how does that equipment integrate with other components on the factory floor. And the robotics integrator is looking at, well, what is the information that about our manufacturing process where automation and robots could be used more effectively. Each of these career pathways is tied to these various skills that you see as these building blocks, and each of these building blocks is directly tied to skills one develops in STEM education and builds from there.
That's great, John. Can you tell us the ways that the students might be able to use those building blocks?
Sure, happy to do that. Let me give you an overview of roboticscareer.org, which is a way to look at these career pathways and connect to them. And it's all based on the skills that one is developing over time. So in this particular instance on roboticscareer.org, I'm going to ask the software, if you will, help me to find training programs that can further develop my skills. And so I'm brought to this first screen that asks me, what's my goal? Am I looking for training? Am I looking for a job? In this particular instance, I want to find a training program that's right for me. So I'll continue down that path, and I'm going to look for a program in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so I can see wherever my location is, whatever city. I'm going to look for a program that lasts in a variety of length. I can search for degree-based programs, for certificate-based programs. In this case, I'm going to look for programs that provide an apprenticeship or academic credit. And so let me continue on. And I'm going to indicate what skills that I'm interested in learning more about. So each of these skills has a discussion of what it really means and a brief definition. But in this particular case, I've selected simulation, electrical systems, electric controls, maintenance, troubleshooting, mechanical systems. And I know these all sound very technical. At the end of the day, they all tie back to STEM skills that one learns and builds over time. So I also am looking for what we call essential skills or soft skills. I'd like to improve some of my adaptability to learning new things and really work on improving some interpersonal skills as well. So I'm asking for programs in the Pittsburgh area that can show me, teach me those kinds of skills and competencies. So as it's searching, it comes back and it gives me a recommended match, and it ranks the match for me. And even better, I can look at programs here on Endorse that the RM Institute has already gone through and reviewed and put the endorsement badge. So I know that these are programs of high level quality. And I see right here, in fact, the robotics technician pre-apprenticeship. This happens to be one of the programs that Michel's organization offers. And so I'll take a deeper dive and look at this program. And I can see some of the basic information associated with it. I can see which skills and competencies is it teaching over time. And if I want, I can even link out to the website for Michel's organization and learn more about the BotsIQ Academy in that particular program. So they're all ways that I can connect with information and get on my way with being able to further my training.
Thanks, John. So, Michel, your programs at BotsIQ help students and young adults get interested in robotics and manufacturing careers. Can you explain how you've moved that forward and how you are successful in helping these students move forward?
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. So BotsIQ has a signature program, we call it, and it's our high school combat robotics program, which for many people, the word combat robotics might mean battle bots, and that's essentially what our students are building. But through this program, they are getting in-demand technical skills, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, a lot of CAD, and they're also getting exposed to the non-technical skills, problem solving, critical thinking, teamwork, the things that all employers are looking for. And what I realized when I came into this role 7 years ago was that the skills that these students are getting introduced to are the skills that employers are looking for, what they need from their current and future employees. But there was kind of a disconnect where the students who participated in the program would go off into post-secondary. They would list BotsIQ in their resume or in their college application, but there wasn't a way to really quantify and speak to the skills that they were actually getting if you weren't familiar with the program. So we developed a robotics technician pre-apprenticeship to sort of overlay that experience. We also created this program so that it's very flexible to overlay any robotics class or program or anything really in the technical area, because it focuses on really 6 key areas: safety, math and measurement, manufacturing, electronics, robotics, and career skills. And so there's a lot of different ways to introduce those skills in the classrooms through hands-on activities. And then we combine related instruction with Tooling U SME, which is an online industry-based curriculum, to really help standardize the learning that all the students have access to. And now when a student goes through the program, not only are they coming out with all these amazing skills, but they get a certificate of completion that helps to really set them aside from their peers when they are going on to post-secondary education or going on to out to work. As well as pre-apprenticeships articulate to apprenticeships, community colleges. So it's kind of like taking an AP class in a non-traditional area in a high school, and really putting these kids out onto a pathway of what I like to call a pathway to success.
And congratulations, Michelle. I understand that that program was recently endorsed by the ARM Institute. So kudos to you and your team. John, do you want to tell the audience a little bit about the ARM endorsements?
Absolutely. So the ARM endorsement is a review of the program that where ARM has developed a set of criteria based on, again, informed by industry in terms of the skills that people are learning. Are they actually demonstrating the outcomes? Did they learn them? So to be clear, I know we have primarily an academic audience today. We're not an accrediting organization. I would think of this much more like in the manufacturing world of an ISO or certification process, where we're looking at how are the skills being taught, what equipment may be used, what are the outcomes being generated, and what happens with the students after they complete that process. So the ARM Institute goes through this endorsement process in conjunction with the training provider to determine if the quality of the program is up to what we're hoping for. And in the process of that, we provide feedback on areas that are great, as well as opportunities for improvement as well. And it culminates in an audit of the actual program and the facilities, if you will. To date, we've been doing this for programs across the country. And to be clear, the ARM endorsement it can apply to any program that is teaching one of those 27 boxes that I showed you earlier, one or more of them, and whether that's a pre-apprenticeship program like Michel's, or if it's a degree program, or a certificate program. From our perspective, education can be delivered in many ways and under many groupings, many types of programs. But is it really helping the individual learn those skills and apply those skills is what we're really looking to confirm.
Michel, what intrigued you to pursue the endorsement?
So a couple different things factored in. One being that, the ARM Institute has this prestige. It's, as you said earlier, one of 17 manufacturing USA institutes here focused on robotics, which is really a big area of our focus as well. So that alignment worked amazingly. You have over 400 members, and That includes not just companies, but education and workforce development organizations. So a lot of experts really coming together under the ARM Institute. And from our perspective, from the workforce development side of things, we're here to create opportunities for these young students, for these youth, to help them understand how something cool, something fun, a class that they liked, a curriculum, an activity that they participated in, how that can become a career. And so combining that excitement with an opportunity to help them set themselves aside as they go out into their professional life or into post-secondary, the ARM Institute and the ARM endorsement really helps us to help our students every year. So that's something that was really important for us because we really want them to be going off and on these pathways and filling these jobs.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm really interested in the program that you've developed related to the assessments for math and mechanical aptitude. My understanding is it helps teachers to move students forward, to help them figure out their futures in the workplace. Can you provide our audience some more information? Because I think that this is such a great fit with the conversations that we've been having with this Math Summit over the last several presentations.
Yeah, absolutely. So math and mechanical aptitude are really two areas that manufacturers look for in their workforce. So from the math side, basic problem solving, math skills in algebra, geometry, trigonometry, measurement is huge, decimals, fractions, things that we math teachers, we speak about daily. And sometimes when students say, why do I have to learn this? We can tell them why, because there is an entire career sector out there that really is relying on this. So what we've tried to do and what we do effectively here in Southwestern Pennsylvania is we've created lesson plans around those core competency areas in math. We've brought hands-on activities together, and we've also created an aptitude test because for many employers, an entry-level position is going to require them to take some sort of a math test. And so we have practice exams that we can provide to teachers so that the students have an opportunity to see how they're placing and to see what areas they really need to work on. It's not a state aptitude test, so there's no pressure there. It's really just a personal goal for them. And it's also from an educator standpoint, a way to identify those students who really are excelling in a lot of different areas and help them understand that, hey, this test that we just took is something that employers are doing, and see how well you did and have that conversation with them. From the mechanical aptitude side, I mean, basically you're taking math and you're applying it to a mechanical system. You're looking at spatial reasoning. And these are skills that some students have just innately. They can understand a gear system when they see two gears and know that one turning left will make the other one turn in a certain direction at a certain speed. They get that. When you look at in the elementary or even middle school level, when kids are having free time and building things, they're understanding just spatially how to make a solid structure and work on points of weakness and strengthen things. And so those skills are, again, applied in the workplace, maybe not with Legos and blocks, but the concepts are still there. So helping our educators be aware of the activities that they're doing or build on the activities that they're doing in their classroom, and then know that there are jobs that are applying these on the back end and talking to them about those careers, those career pathways, and just different ways to get their students out and into the industry someday.
Thanks. This aligns with what we're hearing from our ecosystem too, Michelle. And one of the capabilities that John and his team have been forging into roboticscareer.org is around that tracking of career and competency progression. So maybe John can take a few minutes and share with our audience where we are going there.
Certainly. And I think everyone's familiar with the concept of lifelong learning and the idea that, it continues to build over time. And we're recognizing that we've taken a look at how can one utilize this robotics career in a way to do that. Now, this is where we left off earlier, and I showed you, and here's the example, of course, of the endorsement badge. But, we saw those results. What's happening behind the scenes is my profile is storing that. So I indicated what kinds of skills I wanted to learn, and so that's all recorded here. If I was looking for a job, I would indicate what skills I already have, if you will. I can save the training programs that were interest to me, or save jobs, for instance, as well. I can add documents like a resume or other kinds of things over time. My preferences too, in terms of what kind of training am I looking for, all of that is stored in the background. And the beauty of that is that it helps me to understand as I'm moving forward, what kinds of opportunities can I build on as I'm progressing forward with my career. All of it, again, tying back to skills, which of course are all tied back to some of the STEM and mechanical aptitudes that Michel spoke about just a few minutes ago.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much to our panel members, John and Michelle. We look forward to any questions that our audience has. And if we don't have time to talk today during the question and answer, please definitely contact us in any of the future days.
We use roboticscareer.org a lot in the space that I'm in, with talking to students all the time. It's a really great resource, and something that I think is very user-friendly from the student side and from the teacher side. So hopefully everybody will also feel the same. I don't know how that just started scrolling across the bottom, but I'm really impressed. Connections in the Pacific Northwest. I think, Lisa, you would probably be able to best answer that with our members.
We do. Andy, we've got a nationwide representation with over 400 members. If you are interested, I can give you a direct set of people who we're working with. Lots of the manufacturing extension partnerships, lots of universities, industrial-based organizations. And also, if you look on roboticscareer.org, you'll be able to find the training providers with whom we're working, and the folks who we've captured their data for the schools in the Pacific Northwest.
And Lisa, there's also the Impact Washington, the manufacturing extension partner up there as well.
Correct. One of our most active, and they've got some great work that they are doing